What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so this is a video here that just popped into my head. It was just, it started off as a joke, and then the more I started thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do it. Like every once in a while, I just want to, put out, just put out something that's just more like, like on the funnier side. You know, if another thing I want to start being able to mention this more in the beginning. If you guys like the stuff that's going on here, please feel free to like and subscribe. If not, it's all good. Go ahead and leave a comment down below, because I know there's gonna be a lot of people that have, like, maybe their own idea of what is more crazy or more gangster, what is more hardcore. But with all that out the way, I just want to do this video about, I guess, like, the three most gangster ways for me to play Yu-Gi-Oh, the three craziest ways, the three most hardcore ways, however you want to say it. Just Yu-Gi-Oh, especially people who, who followed Yu-Gi-Oh since the very beginning, you understand that it is very epic. It is very over the top, and especially if you watch the original Japanese version, or whether it's you're reading the manga, or you're watching the original Japanese subbed anime. You'll pretty much realize that it's like there's a lot of like craziness. Like even in the newer series, yeah, I think it's Arc V, where there's, you're literally doing parkour, so it's like you could like run around the arena dodging attacks, looking for action. So Yu-Gi-Oh has always been a little like over the top. But with the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh, since it was a little more darker, had a little a little more of a darker element to it, there was a lot of just certain scenarios that are just like, this is pretty hardcore, like intense. Like just imagine you're like 10, 12, even you now, as someone like, for whether you're a teenager, or if you're in your mid to late 20s, early 30s, wherever you're at, just think of yourself. Imagine just sitting down for some Yu-Gi-Oh and someone's all like, yeah, okay, so check this out. If you lose, I'm gonna take your soul. Or if you lose, yeah, you're gonna get chopped up. So, with that all being said, let's just go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna start off with number 3. That is playing for your or someone else's soul. So, the example I got right here, I got Pegasus, doing his like creeper hug right here on Yami. And then another example would be, when when Pegasus and Kaiba faced off. This is, in the beginning, where Pegasus had to play for not only his own soul, but had to play for his brother's soul. Pretty much, there's a whole bunch of other examples. Maybe I might do like another video of like a more concentrated list of like, like which duels I feel were more hardcore than others. But just, if you're playing for your own or anyone else's soul, like kind of like, like playing for your life, that is pretty intense. Like if it's just like and also I'm not talking about situations where you have other things going on. I'm talking you are just, it's you versus whoever it is who has a millennium item, and they're like, hey, you lose this game, you lose your soul, you lose your life, whatever. So essentially, number 3 is playing for your life. All right, number 2 is pretty much kind of the same thing, but that is playing for your life with added extraness. And what do I mean by added extraness? This is the example of what I mean by added extraness. I went around, I wanted to find a couple of exact scenes and examples of what I mean, but here it is. I'll give you insight on myself. I am not the biggest fan of heights. There's certain situation heights where I'm fine, and if I'm in a plane, I'm pretty good. If I'm, for the most part, if I feel secure in something, then I'm able to like, to just, do it. There's always that thought in the back of my mind where I'm like, oh crap, this is pretty high. But in all honesty, as long as I feel safe, I'm able to go. I'm able to do it. If it's a freaking ladder, if it's like a ladder that's super unstable, if it's, if it's like those stairs that like are just, like those freaking carny stairs that you walk up to, that death slide. You feel me? Like there's just certain things that just trigger this weird fear into me. And one of those fears is walking on and like one of those things that kind of trigger to me in my head is walking onto a platform like this. Just imagine if you have these glasses, you have this window, and you're just standing over the mall. So it's like this right here, like really like just triggers like the inner, the inner, whatever the word is, for being afraid of heights. Just whatever that word is, it just triggers that in me, because I'm just like, man, imagine you're sitting there just trying to concentrate on a game of Yu-Gi-Oh, on top of playing for your soul, on top of knowing that you're just, just completely high up in the air. I'm gonna go show that this is still number 3. Let's go into my next example. This is just a small scene. So this is a small scene from the episode where Yugi faces Arcana, which is the guy that had the different colored dark magician in Battle City. So for pretty much everyone should know by now. If you didn't, if you watch the if you watch the 4Kids dub version, they pretty much edited this to be some kind of soul energy disc that when it came down, it took you to the shadow realm, whatever. In reality, this was a freaking buzzsaw. This was a freaking buzzsaw that, as you lost life points, would get closer to you. So yeah, so for those of you remembering some spinning blue blade, it was not a spinning blue energy blade. It was a literal buzzsaw, and if you lost your life points, it cut your leg off. And what just see, this is what I'm talking about. It's like in the so if we go back to the first example, number 3, you're just playing for your life. So there's no pressure, there's no nothing. Okay, there are, you feel me? Like there's no pressure, there's no anything. You versus the guy playing for your soul. Okay, that's pretty hardcore. You're playing for your life. I get it. Okay, all right now. In this scenario, and I'm going to show you my last scenario on this. Look at this. They are What the hell is going? They are chained to an anchor. Okay? There is an anchor. There is water right here. Okay? The ocean is here. This is the anchor. They are chained to it. Whoever loses this duel doesn't get the keys, doesn't free themselves, and freaking drowns. Okay? Imagine if you're sitting there, you're playing YCS, right? You're right there, top tables, YCS. You're like, man, I just gotta beat this guy, and I gotta be in first place. The freaking judge comes up to you and says, okay, guys, check it out. So to add a little bit of, more of a sport, more entertainment for the crowd, we're going to go ahead and chain you to the table, and then we're going to have a saw. Not a saw, a freaking a chainsaw. We're going to have this pulley mechanism, right? It's just going to be this chainsaw, and the more life points you lose, the closer that chainsaw inches to your face. And once it goes to 0, or you lose all the freaking cards in your deck, heaven forbid you play Runic, or check this out, or some asshole takes you to time and they have more life points than you, then they just plunge the freaking chainsaw at you. Imagine all that pressure on top of playing for your life, on top of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! That is just freaking just crazy to me. I just cannot imagine any scenario where even if you think about some of our more violent some of more violent contact sports, I live over here in America, so I love American football. And there's especially if you keep up with American football, that recently there's a player that literally collapsed, so they even when you're playing a sport like that, with all that extra crap on there, it isn't the freaking commissioner of the NFL is like, you know what, man, we need to make football more entertaining, so I'm gonna have a bunch of freaking snipers just chilling at the top, right? And whenever something every twice a quarter, they're just gonna fire off a couple rounds, and if someone gets shot, they just get shot. Imagine that extra stress added on to trying to play football. That is just ridiculous. There is no reality where we are gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, this is normal. Just play Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you lose, I'm gonna cut your freaking leg off. Play Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you lose, you're gonna drown. Play Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you lose, you're gonna plummet to your death. Man, that is hardcore as gangster right there. All right, and then for the last iteration of this, I don't know if some of you saw this coming. It doesn't matter to me. That is card games on motorcycles. What the hell is going on here? Okay, and before anyone says anything, yes, I do understand that for the most part, when they do the, I guess, quote unquote sanctioned ones, it's they're pretty much on autopilot. So yes, I understand. I get it. They're on autopilot. But in today's age, You have Teslas. These are cars. They're four-wheeled vehicles. You are still required to pay attention while the Tesla is driving for you, okay? You can't just sit there and say, okay, Tesla's driving, let me do some stuff on the touchscreen and start playing fucking, the Duel Links or something, you feel me? Or let me start playing Master Duel right here on the Tesla. No. No, you don't. You still have to pay attention because you never know what the hell is going on, you feel me? There's a lot of scenarios where I understand they're on these closed tracks and this and that, but this is more of a ranting video. So if you're a hardcore 5Ds fan, maybe I might trigger you, or maybe I'm misremembering this. But either way, I'm still gonna justify it at the end. I remember there was maybe 1 or 2 duels where they played without the special tracking. Okay, what the hell? What the hell? I think it was the one where Yusei crashed. I think that's the one where he crashed, where he played, where like one of his few losses where he played. I think he played one of the guys that was the I forgot who it was. I just had it in my head and I lost it. But I remember that duel. I think they played without the little guiding system, and it's like, wait, what's going on here? You got dudes crashing into each other. You got all this crazy energy blast, and then on top of that, you have to ride the freaking motorcycle. There are people who are barely able to ride a motorcycle on the roads today, even safely, just because there's people who don't want to pay attention. And you're telling me that I gotta play Yu-Gi-Oh on top of that? And even if you want to say, well, most of the duels were played with autopilot, I don't freaking care, man. Like, I do not freaking care. This is a 2-wheeled cycle vehicle, and you want me to keep it stable? Because, again, like, this isn't like some kind of tricycle. This isn't like, this isn't like a car. You still need to maintain the balance, even if it's driving itself. So, I guess, yeah, okay, maybe there's self-stabilizers. Whatever, I don't care. This is so dumb. Imagine you're sitting there and you're like, you know what? I'm going to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And then you screw around, and you freaking end up paralyzed. All right? In the other examples, I'm not saying it's gonna be any better, but it's even you feel like yeah, I know a lot of it's in the enclosed track and all this stuff, but maybe I remember they have a lot of their special dual track, like they're not always gonna be weaving through the streets. I understand that, I get that, but it doesn't freaking matter. Look at this. You're suspended up in the air. What happens if there's some kind of malfunction? You're not paying attention. You do a slight swerve. You fall off. Man, you're gonna end up falling 150 feet from the freaking sky. Well, no, what am I saying? 150 feet. Jesus Christ! Look at these buildings, man. Look at, bro. No. Screw this, bro. Screw all of this. All right. Look. See. Look at this. You're still having to keep it all together. You got your little dual thing. I understand. Yes, it looks like you could do it on the anime, but no. All right, this is just dumb. There are people who ruin their lives on these things, and man, I just cannot see myself doing this. And yes, I understand. Yu-Gi-Oh is 100% fictional. This is all, like I said, for fun. I just had all these random thoughts were going in my head. Like, I don't what is going on with these kids? Like, why are they doing this? Why are they, even for the fate of the world, blah blah? Why is it for Yu-Gi-Oh? Yeah, I get it. It's for the show. Like, I'm not. Please don't take it too seriously. I'm just trying to take a piss out of this. I love 5Ds. I actually didn't watch 5Ds until way later. So I was able to appreciate it even more because I was older and was like, wow, this is actually really cool. And I understand the appeal of this, but yeah, man, but this is one of the dumbest, most hardcore / gangster ways you can play Yu-Gi-Oh. Go ahead. It's like, at least in the other ways, if you screw up, it's like that's it. Okay, you're gonna do something dumb, and you're gone. All right, you're gone. That's it. That's it. In this scenario, you could just end up paralyzed. Like, imagine you're sitting there and it's like you're a vegetable and you're like, what happened to yourself? Well, I was riding my motorcycle, playing some Yu-Gi-Oh. I hit a curb, and now I'm paralyzed. I just, like I said, this was just a video just so I can make fun of this. Please don't take it too seriously. If you guys have any comments or leave them down below. If you guys have any ideas of even more hardcore ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh, I know there's a lot of other stuff out there. If you do, leave them down in the comments below. That'll be it for this one. Till then, catch you in the next one.